What's up, y'all? White Hollywood here, and we got an update today, a 1,000 mile review on the GPX FSE 250E 21.5. We just hit actually 1,056 miles, but we're gonna call it a 1,000 mile review. We're doing a little trail ride here at the local trails today. And I'm just going to give you an update on the bike, how it's been over these miles. Let's get a view right here by the river. Good shot right here. Good shot. Look at that view. Oh, man. That's a hell of a view right there. See the other burnt trucks down in the water down there? People steal vehicles and throw them down here. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens out here at the Trinity River. I wouldn't be surprised if there ain't some dead bodies in here. All right, let me take these goggles off for a second. All right, GPX FSE 250E. Let's talk about it. 1,052 miles. How has the bike been so far? I'm gonna give you an honest opinion. I don't work for GPX, y'all. I do not work for GPX. Me or L Cars do not work for GPX. A lot of people think we do, but we don't. As far as I know, he doesn't, unless he's an undercover spy in there working, or an undercover agent in the CIA working for GPX. Or maybe I am too, y'all. Maybe I'm a FBI informant for GPX, and you know. I'm just playing. All right, y'all, 1,000 mile review. Bike's been great so far. Let's talk about maybe some of the bad things that I've had. Trying to think. Bad things that I've had happen on this bike. The only downfall this bike I've had so far, and I would say it's the only thing, is the carburetor. I mean, I have it tuned now and it runs great, but it can be a little finicky. Do I think there's a better carburetor out there for this bike? Yes, probably. And it just takes getting it fine-tuned just right. Then again, I came off a fuel-injected bike, so I know there's differences with carb and fuel-injected bikes. You know, fuel-injected's gonna match the air temperature and, you know, your altitude and all that crap. It just does it for you. It just works. Do I like the way the carb bike runs when it runs good though? Yes. Over fuel injected? Yes. The power hit and just throughout the whole rev range is nice, man. So when you get one of these, you're gonna have to have a little knowledge on tuning the carb, which it was my first carb bike, so I think that's why I had a little trouble. So if you have knowledge on carb, I don't think you have no trouble. So it's not really a downfall, but it is, you know, you have to have some knowledge on working on them. But you know, and I kind of ride in a bunch of different altitudes here in Texas. It ain't nothing drastic, but I have noticed changes in the way the bike runs, from like my local trails to when I go a little bit up north towards like Oklahoma, and the altitude changes a little bit, and I'm in the, you know, the bigger hills and little mountains out there. So, you know, you could get you a smart carb, I guess, if you wanted to fix that problem, but I just hasn't been that big of a deal for me to spend $600-700 bucks. What other problems have I had? I haven't really had any problems with this bike at all. I did have a wreck where I've had to replace some parts, but that was because I wrecked the bike on that when I hurt my knee, and you know, I bent the brake lever in right here. It's bent pretty good. I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all, I like the bend on this one finger pull though in here. Actually works pretty good for me, but I do have a new brake lever coming from Gary. I had to replace the handlebars. I put a Outlaw Racing clutch perch, a quick adjust clutch perch on here. Let me show you that right quick. Elcar's ADV actually put me onto this. I wish it was a shorty. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I kind of like shorty levers, so well, it's good for now. But I do like it. It's got a nice pull and everything, and the quick adjust is, you know, convenient. I put some Acer Bis hand guards on here. Let's turn that off. One thing I do like about this is the air fork bleeders on this bike, though. Very nice. Other downfalls. Okay, here's one of the downfalls of this bike. I mean, I ride my bike hard, y'all, and I beat it up pretty good, but let me show you. I think it's on the other side, is the graphics. After washing my bike a couple times, my graphics started peeling back. Can you see this right here? My graphics. That's one thing I noticed, and it's really just right there. That's the only spot. I don't know why, just right there it happened. But you know, I'm gonna put new graphics on it anyways. It's a dirt bike, y'all. It's not a big deal to me. They did start to fade a little bit up here, you know, the graphics too. I do live in Texas, y'all, though, and we have 100 and, you know, 10-degree summers out here, and with we get clay, as you can see, like this clay shit is hard to get off. So, you know, bike's meant to get dirty, though. One thing I will say, when you get one of these bikes, make sure you tighten everything down with blue Loctite. I did lose a bolt right here, which Gary sent me one right there too. And I did blue Loctite these, but I guess so much rattling, or I don't know, but I did lose that bolt. But that's not a big deal. It's not like the bike's gonna, anything's gonna happen. Let's see what else. That's the only bad things. I've been in a lot of mud lately, so I'm about to pull this tire off and repack the axle arm and the bearings on the back, make sure they're good, because I think I've lost a little grease from being in all this mud and water and clay. We do a lot of enduro riding and a lot of hard riding out here. Let's see what else. I need to stop saying I'm starting to sound like Elcars. I'm just playing with you, man. Let's talk about the good things, man. I love this bike. I have to say, here's one of the reasons I love this bike. I've been riding a couple of my friends' bikes lately. They're other dual sports. You know, I've rode almost every bike out there, to be honest. From dirt bikes, dual sports. You know, I've had a rally, rode 690s, KTMs, 500s. I've rode Suzuki or DRZ 400s. I've rode KTM 350s. I've rode Beta 250s. I've rode the CRF 250Ls. What else? I've rode a TW 200. I've rode a XT 250. All those dual sports. I've rode a Kawasaki 250, and I did test drive the 300, and also test drove the CRF 300s. One thing why I like this bike over all of those bikes is how nimble and how light and how flickable this bike is. After riding my bike, and I got on some of those other bikes after riding this, I didn't realize, I already knew those other bikes were heavy, but after riding this, they feel even heavier now compared to riding this bike. This bike is so much lighter feeling riding in the trails and in the tight single track than all those other bikes. It's so flickable. It's just nice, man. I've grown to love this bike so much because of that. And the power is just, with the power it has and with the weight it has and how the design and ergonomics of the bike are the frame and the chassis, it just goes really well together. And in the trails, it's light and it's nice. Like, you get in a sticky situation with the other bikes and you start to lean, they're top heavy, and I would notice times I've been on them, they would fall. On this bike, I don't ever have that problem. It's light, like almost feels like just a regular dirt bike, you know what I mean? Which it is a dirt bike, but they call it a dual sport. But if this bike feels more like a dirt bike, And that's one thing I love about this bike. And now that I've geared it to the 1246 gearing and the trails, for the trails, it's amazing. And I mentioned that in a couple videos ago. I talked about it. Now on street, it does suck. Like I said, you're doing, you know, RPMs are up there about 60 miles per hour. But I cruise on the back streets to get the trails. I like to ride these trails. This is what I love to do. Explore and just find new terrain and do, you know, just explore. It's fun. What else? See, yeah, the bike's just been great, y'all. The bike has been amazing. It's done everything I've wanted it to do, from single track to hill climbs to rocky technical stuff. I mean, it's done it all, and it's done it better than any dual sport I've ever rode. And I'm being 100% honest with you on that. I don't know if I did mention, okay, so this is my tread at about 1,052 miles. It's worn, the back tire's worn. I'm still riding it. I'm trying to get all I can out of it. I do have some IRC VE33s to put on, but I've been trying to wear this thing until it's just, I'm probably gonna put them on next week. So the outsides aren't that bad, but it's worn in the middle. It's worn down. The mud's kind of caked in there right now, but yeah. So front tire is still actually not bad for 1,042 miles. It looks, it's wearing really good actually. So these front tires, and I've never had no problems washing out really with this tire. Now, if you do have your suspension set up really soft, then I had a couple problems washing out going on downhills, but I've ended up, over time, I've tweaked my suspension for different types of riding. So I always go in a click or out a click depending on what I'm doing. For slow technical stuff, I make it a little softer. For faster riding, I make it a little stiffer. And I usually go one click down or one click up on my compression, which is on the bottom, and depending on the riding I'm doing at the time. But the suspension has been nice too, man. Over other bikes I've ridden, it crushes those bikes too. Like the Honda CRF 250L, this thing blows it away. I like it better than the DRZ. The DRZ just feels like a tank to me. And the Rally on the Honda side, they all feel like massive tanks. The power's good on the DRZ, but that's about the only thing. When you get in tight technical stuff on that bike, it gets hairy. This bike, it does everything I want it to do. Like, that's why I bought this bike, for the type of riding I wanted to do, and it's done everything I've wanted it to do. It was the bike for me. And I'm about 185, 190 pounds, give or take, 180 when I'm light. And suspension's been good for me. I'm 5'10". I can, you know, a lot of people always worry about the bike height. It's 37 inches, but once you set your sag on this, I touch the ground fine. I mean, I can't flat foot, but your feet should be on the pegs anyways, y'all, and y'all should be standing and riding. I watched so many videos, and that's one thing. A lot of people say, how did you progress so fast as a rider? Like, I just started 1 year ago riding, and it's because I stand up when I ride, and I keep my feet on the pegs. I don't jump off the bike usually. I keep my feet on the pegs, and I stand up, and I've practiced technique and balance and just little drills. You know, I come out here every week and practice. Practice is your best friend. Keep your feet on the pegs, stand up, and ride, y'all. Your riding will progress so much farther. Yeah, bike's great, y'all. Suspension's been great. Motor's been great. I haven't had no hiccups with the motor. Motor's still running 100% as day one. And, you know, after that 300 or 400 mile mark, the motor broke in, and it was even better. I do got the 4-degree timing key in here, which I love even more. It makes that rev range great throughout the whole rev range of the bike. From, you know, 0 to 10,000 RPM, however you want to run it. Don't advise going up that high, but you know what I mean. Brakes have been great. I do need new brake pads though. Back brake pads are shot. I need new brake pads, which I'm getting some of those from Gary. Front still good. Front brake pads still good. I think I've done 3 oil changes on this in this amount of time. And one of those was because I did the 4-degree timing key and we lost a little oil, so I ended up just changing it anyways. And I like to change my oil more often. I want the motor to stay clean, and I ride hard, so when you ride hard, you know, the oil gets burned a little more, it gets a little darker, and I want that oil to be clean. So I would say between every 600 to 1,000 miles, I would change the oil on this bike. I don't know there's no manual, but from what I've heard, a lot of the guys said between 600 and 1,000. That's what I've been doing. I might even do it every 500 to 600 because when I ride hard. But I'm just getting back to getting my strength in my knee back, y'all, from an incident too where I hurt my knee. So I'm building that up, starting to feel a lot better. Every week's getting better and better and better. So I'm almost there with my riding, getting back to where I was. Still gonna take a couple weeks, a month to really, you know, be fully back, but we're just slightly trying to grow. I'm doing a little bit of riding here and there and strengthening that back up. But yeah, man, that's my review on this bike. Everything's been great. Gas mileage is pretty good. It ain't the best. Maybe that's because I'm on it and doing wheelies and, you know, hogging it out a lot, so I'm burning more fuel. But you know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, bike's great. Go get you one. I really like the new black and gray look they got too, man. It's a clean looking bike. But yeah, let's get out here and do a little bit more riding and explore around. But that's my 1,000-mile review. Everything's great about the bike. I'm happy with my purchase, and I'm glad I got the bike. Best trail bike I've ever had. Best trail bike I've ever had. So, or ridden, I mean. But anyways, yeah. River's flowing. All right, let's get out here and ride. All right, y'all. White Hollywood. Subscribe, like, comment, and hit that bell notification to get all the updates on the videos. And if y'all got any questions, write them in the comment section, and I'll try to answer all y'all's questions about this bike. All right, y'all. Peace out. Yeah, buddy.